Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
You're a Hollywood star. What are you talking about?
Oh, Jesus. I tell you what, Paul, being this Hollywood star, yeah, it's not what it's cracked up to be, mate. 14-hour days, and we're in the forest, right? So in the film, I don't want to say too much, but I'm like a former fighter that's got in trouble with like the Chinese mafia or whatever. So I've been put into this game show and we're being hunted down by these killers. So all day, every day, I'm running, I'm fighting, I'm falling, I'm getting beaten up. 14 hours a day, doing night shoots, coming back home. Then I got to cook. Then I got to go to sleep. Then I've got to do it all over again every single day. Oh, it's hard, man. I feel like I've done 5 rounds with Alex Pereira.
Yeah. People don't quite realize that, especially if you've got a significant role in a film. You're there for hours because the lighting's got to get set up. They've got to readjust things. There's props departments. There's so much that goes into it behind the scenes that just it takes forever. Oh, we got to turn the camera around. All right, we got to shoot it from this side. Okay, now we're going to be behind you, Mike. We're going to film it from here. And then, like you're talking about in your case, if there's action stuff, forget about it. Stunts, all that kind of stuff. Just
yeah, because the fight scenes, they're going to look really, really good, but it's a lot of effort. I mean, last month.
Are you getting busted up? Like, are you sore from it?
Bro, getting busted up big time. And fair play, one of the guys that I'm working with that I did this fight scene, he's a tough bastard. He really is, because there's a few things that I do, and he's like, just kick me properly. You know, and we did it like 20 times. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. And then another point, I'm choking him out, and I forget I'm choking him out for real. You know, the director's like, that looks so good. He's like foaming at the mouth and the saliva coming out, and he's like, can you not?
They're reviving him in between takes.
I'm like, oh shit, sorry, buddy. You know, my bad. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that, Paul. How was your week?
It was good, man. I had a date night with Christine last night. We went and got some sushi. So that was delicious. She can't really eat too much of the actual sushi because she's pregnant. But this restaurant down in Philly, one of my best friend works at, it's Zama. It's just solid. It's one of the spots in Philly that's got some of the best sushi. I mean, Morimoto's got a spot in Philly, but this spot's right up there, man. I had this one last night. It was like fried avocado roll, but then with seared tuna on top of it and this like sesame sauce, dude.
Japanese food. It's some of the best. It really is. You know, whether or not it's the sushi, the steaks, the Japanese beer, sashimi, the noodles, everything. Japanese. I've never been to Japan. It's always been on my list.
Me either.
Always been obsessed with Japanese culture. I can't wait to go there. I started off doing Japanese jiu-jitsu as a kid. I cannot wait to go to Japan one day. It's on the list. I'll do it soon. But well, I'm glad you enjoyed your sushi. Are you a sashimi guy?
Yeah, I will do some sashimi. I did a little bit. I did the what is it, Otoro, the one like really fatty, like high end cut of tuna, and it came in the actual part of it, the actual tuna, like
the spine,
bone structure, and it was like these big horn things, and then the tuna was tucked inside of it. The table next to me just kept looking over it like, what the hell are these guys ordering? And since my friend works there, he sent out some extra stuff too. He sent me a bunch of sake extra, and it was nice. It was a nice little date night. Yeah,
it's great when that happens. I'll give a little plug. If anyone ever goes to Maui, there's a restaurant called Nuka. You have to go. I went there. It was recommended by a friend of mine. I went in. Turns out the chef was like a big UFC fan. He did the same thing, sending over. It was the spine of a tuna. He made deep fried ice cream. It wasn't on the menu. He said, I'll do it for you. Oh, my God. We had the best experience ever. Nuka. Nuka on Maui. If anyone's ever there, you've got to go to that place. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. That backfired. That backfired on us. Remember when we were in Singapore and we went to that restaurant?
Oh,
Australia, and they were sending stuff, and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do a tasting menu." We thought we had some kind of a hookup going on, and then the bill came out, and it was just like, "Oh my goodness!"
It was
holy crap.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Just to give a bit of context. Yeah, they're like, we recommend this. We recommend that. And
we're like,
just sending it and
keep it coming.
Food's coming out. And then the bill comes.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, my God, are you taking the piss?
Yeah. That was one of the bigger bills I've seen.
Yeah. But let's be honest, UFC paid for it. So I
didn't have to pay for it.
We didn't have to pay a goddamn penny. So we got lucky.
Credit to Zach Candido for picking that one up on the UFC.
Absolutely. Should we get into the fights? Should we talk about that? I mean, where do we start? Merab Dvalishvili, man. I mean, Merab just went out there, closed the book on Sean O'Malley, distanced himself from everyone else in the bantamweight division, potentially one of the greatest of all time. Finishes it this time, Sean didn't even, all right, round 2, he stopped some takedowns and he landed some good shots and stuff like that. But Merab wasn't deterred. He wasn't hurt. He didn't stop going forward. He didn't stop trying. I mean, he basically went out there and kind of mauled him and then tapped him out in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I think it was just exactly what Merab needed to do to not only get another big win, but to get a finish like that, because that's the one thing that's kind of been eluding him, right? Is having that big finish. And that was a slick, awkward, non-traditional choke that he hit him with too. He went for the guillotine, like a modified, reinforced guillotine, but then Sean rolled through it, looked like he was going to get out, and then he just kind of curled over the top, and you could just tell the squeeze that dude has is incredible. And bro, I got to say, his striking looked incredible as well. He was landing some big shots. He got hit with a couple shots, and we know Merab's got a chin. He walked through anything that he got hit with by Sean, and it's dominance.
Yeah. The finish, it was like an Ezekiel choke, but from north-south.
Yeah.
It was an Ezekiel choke is basically a rear naked choke, but you're on top. And you got to be
like a front on the front of the neck too.
And obviously the squeeze that he has, he's shorter, he's compact, he's
stocky,
very
bastard.
strong dude. And then he takes the kind of transitions to north south, and there it is. And I didn't think he'd get it. I didn't either. Going to get it, and then all of a sudden you see Sean tapping. Hey, fair play, man.
Funny thing about that fight too is last night I'm watching it on the couch. Obviously, East Coast gets super late. It's almost 1 o'clock already by the time those guys are fighting. I get through the first 2 rounds, no problem. Next thing I know, it's 7 a.m. on Sunday today. I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. I fell asleep during the main event because I watched the last few rounds in bed, and I was a mistake. I should have stayed downstairs, but I wake up. I'm making my coffee. I'm talking to Christine, and I'm like, hey, I didn't see the end of the fight. Do you know what happened? I didn't say, hey, what happened in the fight? So she took that as, oh, yeah, I saw that Merab choked him out. And I was like, no. I wanted to watch it. I didn't look at social media. I wanted to just watch it, not knowing how it ends. And she ruined it for me.
Well,
she's like, you asked me what happened. I said, I asked if you know.
Oh, I see. So she ruined it for you. That's it. End of the relationship.
And I took her out on a nice sushi dinner last night. Yeah. And then she does this to me today,
take her
Michael.
Out for dinner. You're giving her a good life. You're giving her children, and she's ruining the fights.
Yeah.
You're going to have a chat, Paul.
Yeah, we're going to talk after this podcast.
No, it's a serious situation. The question is, what does Sean O'Malley do now?
That's a good question.
He looked so dejected and deflated in the octagon, and I get it. He's just lost, but not only did he lose, he got beaten twice now. He lost the belt, and given the brilliant points that Harrington brought up last show, about how he removed himself from the character of Sean O'Malley, which is kind of what he did, right? If you got all about that, so let's just get dialed in, focus on the fight, then everything else can come. Well, we didn't get the Sugar show, and we didn't get a performance, and this time he got finished. It's not far from the end of the career. He's still got a big name. He's still very skillful, but he's just going to have to rebuild.
Yeah. I think it's going to be even more frustrating, obviously, because like you said, you cut everything out. You did everything right. You're injury free, as far as we know. You felt focused. Even the walk-in, we usually see Sean in some crazy suit, colors, everything. He was just in his Venom kit that he gets from the UFC, seemingly dialed in, had some moments, and then you still just get beat and get finished. So I think he needs to decide, does he want to stay in this division? Because let's be honest, I don't see Merab going anywhere. Umar Nurmagomedov is also in that division. That's got a very similar style where he's going to struggle with these guys that are compact, short, really strong wrestlers. If he moves up to 145, though, I mean, there's some guys there that can do that same thing. So I think he's got to decide, first of all, do you want to stay at 135 pounds? Do you want to move up to 145? And if you stay at 135, for the sake of Sean, I hope the UFC gives him somebody that's going to try to stand and trade with him a little bit to at least get his confidence back up, get him back in. Not that he's going to necessarily win the fight, but something where the fans get what they want from him. And then from there, you can kind of continue on and see how far you can get. But that's not always how it works, is it?
I just did a 316 review show for the UK broadcaster, TNT Sports, and they were saying that maybe Patchy makes. And I'm like, whoa, don't do that to Sean. Sean's a good guy. He was a great champion. He's just been beaten twice by Merab. Now you're going to throw him in with Patchy Mix. We'll get to him in a little bit. Obviously, he kind of shit the bed. It wasn't the best performance. As I say, we'll talk about that in a bit. But stylistically, he's just going to try and take him down. But when you look at the division, it's hard. I mean, what are you going to do? Piotr Jan, Umar Nurmagomedov, Corey Sandhagen, he's going to fight for the belt next. That's a given. Song Yudong. I mean, they're all really tough matchups. However,
and good wrestlers. They're all good wrestlers. Even Song Yudong has got good wrestling. Patchy Mix, again, I think the jitters got to him. I think the debut, it's a tough transition. He did not perform well at all. But if that guy gets to the ground, which he wasn't able to do in his debut, he's a problem. And Song Yudong, all these guys, they can strike, they can wrestle. And now his confidence is just way down. He's in a tough spot. There's no doubt about it.
How old is Sean? Right? Still only in like his late 20s, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
So he's still got plenty of time. He's tall. Maybe going up to 145 is the answer, because I don't know how hard the weight cuts are. What is he, like 5'11", something like that? He's a tall guy. He's a lean guy. Maybe going
he's 5'11". He's 30. He's only 30 years old. Now 30. Yeah.
Right. So he's not exactly
30. He'll be 31. Oh no, he just turned. Oh my gosh! If this is true, he just turned. Oh no, that's last fight. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, in October he'll be 31.
Okay. All right. Well, Jesus
the way I looked at it,
it's last fight. I hope he's got a will. He's got to turn 31. He's going to die soon. He's still in his prime, Paul. It's not a long.
No. I thought the way I was reading his Tapology thing, I thought his birthday was yesterday, but I'm looking at last fight, not his actual date of birth. Now,
do you go off Tapology? I always go off Wikipedia.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah. The Wikipedia, but there's some crazy shit on Wikipedia.
Yeah, my profile on Wikipedia at one point, because people can go in and like alter it. Somebody made up a complete nonsense story about how my cousin got me into training karate when I was a kid, and we were really tight. And they made up a name and everything. This person doesn't exist.
My Wikipedia page for years was like the worst shot ever. I looked like I just come out of like working as a chimney sweep. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we got to change this picture. Let's talk about Merab though. What is Merab? I mean, obviously it's got to be Corey Sandhagen next. There will be. Oh, we got to talk about Jon Jones as well, which we talk about every week. But Jesus Christ, there's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah.
We'll get there in a minute. But Merab Dvalishvili, Corey Sandhagen, that's going to go down next. But Merab, man, he looked phenomenal. That he was putting together combinations. Obviously, he gets the finish. Didn't really take any damage. He took some shots, but he wasn't bust up. I mean, fair play to Merab, right?
Yeah.
Fair play,
and
man.
He's saying he wants to fight 4 times, right? That was one of the things that we're going to talk about. 4 times in a year as a champion is insane. But it just goes to show you that's how this guy is. He is one of those people that you can tell from the walkout to the fight. He loves it. He loves the crowd being there. He loves slapping high fives. He loves jumping out of the cage and talking to Dana, President Trump, all these people. He loves all of it. So he's a guy that I truly think could pull something like that off, because he's always training. He's always doing crazy shit. The guy never is out of shape. So if there's somebody that can do it, it's Merab.
What happened on the walkout? Because I think was it when Sean walked out?
Gate broke.
One of the fans fell off like from the stands.
Yeah, I think the gate, the supporting gate that holds them back on the stands, collapsed from people leaning on it. That crowd was crazy for that fight.
Oh dear. Hey, listen, fair play to Merab. Oh, let's have a look.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, look at them all.
The crowd fell into the walkout.
Merab causing people to go crazy. Harrington, jump on the show because Harrington was responsible for changing people's picks. I had Merab all day long, and you come out with this quite prophetic.
You did. You almost changed me.
and you spoke about the motivation and all this. You were wrong, Harrington.
You were wrong.
Hold on. I was right. I was 100% right. That was a different Sean O'Malley we saw in there. The get-ups were significantly better. The striking was clean. He landed one massive bomb on Merab. The guy showed up. It just wasn't enough to get past Merab.
As wrong as your pick was, your audio input is also wrong.
Thank you. I'm like, bro, you can see my hand gesturing. You're not coming through your microphone.
I thought you were stopping me to tell me I was being a dickhead because I was.
There you go. Finally. Hey, one day, buddy. One day. You did bring up a good point. What do you think, Harrington? Any takeaways on the main event?
Well, I mean, I think my biggest takeaway is I loved one call out after the fight, and that was Aljamain Sterling calling for Sean O'Malley. It's like, Aljamain says that he'd like to show Sean what he can do at 100%. Sean O'Malley, I think you're 100% right, should head up to the 145-pound division. Aljamain Sterling ranked in the top 10 there right now. It's a great introduction to the division. It seems to make sense and kind of lines up.
Yeah, but, again, for Sean O'Malley, not that I'm trying to protect him or anything like that. That was the perfect storm when he beat Aljamain Sterling. He's not exactly a one-punch knockout artist, but that fight made him look like one. He stepped back, boom, clean right hand, puts the champ to sleep, becomes the champion of the world. Now you're going to give him Aljamain at 145, where he's not having to cut quite as much weight, where the man just out-wrestles people for the most part. It's like, dude, what have you got against Sean O'Malley, Harrington? What is your problem?
Listen, that's a fight where, I've seen Sean O'Malley get inside Aljamain Sterling's head and win the battle before they step into the cage. I think he can do that again at 145.
Yeah. No.
I don't think he can. I don't think after Merab beats him like that twice in a row and Aljamain being as close to Merab and training with him. And I think Aljamain's cut to 135 was more detrimental to him than Sean's cut to 135. I think at 145, the way Aljamain has been looking lately and the way he wrestled against, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. The undefeated 145er.
Who's he thinking about, Harrington?
Movsar
Evloev.
Yeah.
The way he can scramble with that guy, and he's a huge, jacked up 145er. So I don't know. I think that would be a rough one for Sean.
It's going to be rough regardless. He's Sean O'Malley. There's going to be no easy fights. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem, right? When you get to the top, once you've reached that status of becoming a champion and being that high up, there's nowhere for you to go.
Yeah. No, because I obviously I became the champ. I lost the belt and I retired because I knew I was on borrowed time. I was lucky. I got it right at the end of my career. And when I lost it, I'm like, all right, I'm done. See you later. Yeah. Because you still got to fight top ranked guys in the top five that want that are motivated, that haven't been spoiled by the riches, that have a chip on their shoulder, that feel overlooked, that feel they aren't getting the opportunities that maybe other people are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they are super motivated. And that's the problem for Sean now, or it's going to be the battle. Can he stay motivated? Does he want to be the champion again? Has he made enough money to be like, you know what, I'm okay, I'm going to chill? Or is he going to say, no, I'm going to double down. I'm going to really come back with a bang.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait too and hear from him. I know he put out a quick little clip on social media saying, sorry, I didn't get it done, but I'll be back. And that was pretty much it. Yeah. So, after a little bit of time off, I'm sure he'll be doing some interviews and things like that. And we'll see where his head's at.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll move on now. It's just the sport, and it's just the wrestlers. You know, it's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? Sean O'Malley's entertaining. Obviously, the crowd were on his side. There was the chance of USA, and even at the press conference, they were all on his side as well. But, you know, you've got to be able to stop the takedowns. Simple as that. Yeah. It's like Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. You know what I'm saying? If you are saying that, Magomed didn't even really wrestle too much in that fight. But the problem is you've got to be able to stop these.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to stop these styles. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Ghost Bed, that is here to solve your problems. If you're not sleeping well and you need a new mattress and you're too hot at night, you're waking up in the middle of the night and you're all hot and sticky and stuffy and just not getting the rest that's required, Ghost Bed is here to save the day. So whether or not you're just too hot or you got too much stuff going through your brain, when it is finally time to crash, your mattress shouldn't be the thing keeping you up. That's where the Ghost Bed Luxe comes in, aka the coolest bed in the world. It's built top to bottom with cooling materials and patented technology that actually pulls heat away while you sleep. And like every mattress in Ghost Bed's new collection, it features their Pro Core layer designed to give you extra support through your hips and your back to keep you pain-free. If the Luxe isn't your style, no worry, Ghostbed's got options. Head to ghostbed.com/believe and take the mattress quiz, answer a few quick questions about how you sleep, and they will set you up with your best match from their all-new collection. With more than 20 years of experience and over 60,000 five-star reviews, Ghostbed is a family-owned company that knows how to build top quality mattresses that actually last. Every mattress is made in the USA and Canada using premium durable materials. So when you're ready to upgrade your sleep, use the code BELIEVE at checkout for an extra 10% off. Yes, even on top of their already great deals. That's ghostbed.com/believe. The promo code is BELIEVE to get the 10% off. Sleep cooler, sleep better, even when your brain won't tap out. Kayla Harrison, easy work of Juliana Pena. Pena, for all the talk and the chat and the confidence, just didn't really do much in the fight, if we're honest. She got taken down in round one. Obviously, she got finished by that Kimura in round two.
Right at the end, too.
Right at the end. You heard the clapper go.
And as soon as she got that arm, that was it. She's so strong. She is so strong. It's insane just that she can even make that weight class. That's my only concern for her for having longevity in that division, is just because if she can make it and stay healthy, she is a problem. And obviously now talks of Amanda Nunes, she got in the cage and looks like that's going to be next. That's going to be a more interesting fight because Amanda Nunes is not a small 135er. She's a big girl for that weight class. So, but a long time off, man.
Oh, yeah. Off. But hold on, just on the fight. Do you know what really impressed me? And it could be a problem for Amanda Nunes. You know, when we train for MMA fights, there's kind of a formula now to the training, right? The different people have different styles, but people know how to defend takedowns. They know how to defend in arm bars. There's not really too many surprises. But Kayla Harrison, given the level of judo that she had, they're up against the fence. We're kind of taught, get the whizzer, get the underhook and all this. Kayla Harrison, just an effortless little boop, just a nice little foot sweep, sat it down. They're not preparing for that. And that's the element of surprise that she has, because she's a gold medalist at the Olympics in judo. Twice. You know what I mean? Just a little foot sweep, no effort. You know what I'm saying? The timing of that was perfect. It was beautiful. Yeah. And that's, that's kind of the difference, and that's, because the mold of what a lot of people are using, it's becoming the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But she wall work, defend the single leg, defend the double leg. But then when you get somebody in there that, when you're in almost a bad position, the judo players can trip and throw you from places that you think you're safe. And that's what they want. Even awkward spots like having, arm over the head and then get their hips involved. That's where they really present a lot of problems. And it's so, like you're talking about, efficient and effortless. That's the whole point of judo, is kind of finding it's using, what's the word? Kazushi? Like to get the movement going. You would know, you know a lot of Japanese terminology.
I do know the Japanese terminology, but I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's like get the movement going. I used to do
the waza is the technique.
Yeah.
I don't know what the sushi is.
Kazushi. I could be making that. I could be making that up completely. And I'm sure.
It might be.
I'm sure our fan base.
The
will,
Uchiwaza.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway.
The
But fair play. It was good regardless. Yeah. I was talking about that yesterday because there's Tai Chi and there's Taekwondo. There's a couple of Taekwondo specialists on this film. And I'm like, there's Tai Chi and there's Taekwondo. What is the
Thai
relevance? The Thai. What does the Thai mean? The Thai is the foot. The Quan is the hand. And the Do is the mind. I might be getting that wrong. I was like, oh, okay, Taekwondo. The foot fist way, the foot fist path, something like that. Anyway, regardless, going off on a tangent. Amanda Nunes is going to be next. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Patchy makes shit the bed. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he came out there and he looked frozen. He looked very stiff. He was eating a lot of shots from Bautista, and Bautista just had great movement and was never really there to get hit back. He had some moments. He landed some shots, but I just expected some more wrestling, some more takedown attempts, and he just never got that going at all.
Especially after the confidence and the shit talk at the press conference and the way that, like, he just dismissed the threat of Bautista.
He said like, he is looking past him.
It was like, it's a foregone conclusion that I'm going to walk in here, destroy everybody, become the champion. Then you go up against Bautista that is chipping away in the background, that's beating people like Jose Aldo, but doesn't get the fan recognition, if we're honest. But a tough guy to beat, you know? And
8-fight win streak.
And he was beaten soundly. He wasn't in the fight. He didn't really do much. All right, on the striking numbers, it's surprising because they were kind of close. But Bautista was clipping him. He was landing good shots. And every time Patchy took a shot, he was pulling his face. He was like, clearly. It's like, I didn't like that one. That's not a good idea. Because if it's close, the judges are going to go, well, you were reacting every single time to those shots. So
yeah, that was the big difference. I was surprised, too, when I would see the striking numbers that pop up on the screen because it was closer than it even seemed, just because when Bautista would land, you noticed every time he landed those shots. And then every now and then, Patchy Mix would have one or two significant strikes that would look like, okay, that landed clean. But it didn't. It wasn't as close as it seemed. Just if you looked at the numbers, you'd be like, oh, that was a really close fight. But if you watched the fight, you're like, nah, it was. I think he won all the rounds. That second round, I think, might have been the closest between the two of them, but I think I had all 3 rounds for Bautista in that one.
Yeah. Bautista, he's going to have a big fight next. Simple as that. The problem is the top 5 is absolutely stacked, so I don't know.
Give him O'Malley.
That's not a bad shout, you know.
Yeah.
That's what he needs, because he's got the skills, but he just needs that fight. He was just on a pay-per-view, so he had a good spotlight there, so to speak. That's maybe not a bad shout. You know, but is O'Malley going to push him up against the fence like he did against Jose Aldo and this and that? I guess that's up to Sean to stop him.
Yeah, and I think that obviously would, because Bautista's got some good wrestling. He just didn't even really decide to use it. Obviously, in this fight with Patchy Mix, who's known for all of his groundwork, he was like, I'm just going to keep this on the feet. But if he's fighting somebody like Sean O'Malley, he absolutely could mix it up more. But I still don't think it's at the crazy pace and level that Merab brings to the table. So I still think he's got a better shot getting Bautista to stand with him and making striking exchanges work for him than he's going to do against Merab.
All right, today's episode is sponsored by Huel, and if you're constantly on the move or tired of skipping meals, Huel has you covered. They are today's sponsor, and their Black Edition ready to drink is a total game changer. It's a complete meal in a bottle, 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, high fiber, low sugar, so you feel full, focused, and ready for the day. No prep, no cleanup, just grab and go. Huel's already sold over 500 meals around the world, and now it's your turn to try. New customers get 15% off plus a free gift at Huel.com when you use the code BELIEVE. Don't miss out. Try it today. Huel is a perfectly balanced meal and it saves you time, designed by experts to provide all the nutrients that the body needs. And they taste good. Huel shakes taste like a milkshake and they come in delicious chocolate or vanilla. Bonus, low sugar. Lastly, Huel is affordable with high protein meals that cost less than $5. Lastly, Huel is incredibly affordable with high protein meals that cost less than $5. It's a budget friendly option. My personal favorite is the Black Edition ready to drink because, as I said, 35 grams of proteins and 27 vitamins and minerals. So go to Huel.com, use the code BELIEVE, and you will get 15% off and a free gift. That is 15% off and a free gift for new customers using the code BELIEVE at Huel.com. Huel.com. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition bottle. Obviously, friend of the show, friend of you, training partner, Joe Pyfer, got the job done. I'll be honest. I'm tired today. I'm a little hungover. I had a few and I get back to this house and I sit down and I'm just like, I'll just have a glass of wine before I go to bed. I watched the fights with some of the cast and crew and the director and stuff and the stunt team and whatnot. I had a great time. So we had a few drinks, nothing crazy, but, just a social thing. So I came back, I'm having a little glass of wine, a little nightcap, and I'm on Instagram and Joe Pyfer he's going live. I'm watching the live and he's like, hey, Bisping's here. So I'll put like a little comment and he's requesting that I join the live with him. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that. I've had a few drinks. I'm not getting on a live with you and this and that. But hey, fair play. Dominated him in the first round, almost finished him. Beautiful right hands, nice head kick, dropped him again. The only critique I would have is that when he had him down in the first round, you shouldn't have let him stand. Kelvin Gastelum's not exactly a threat off his back. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy. That was the opportunity to finish him. And then rounds 2 and 3, we didn't really get the action that we had in round 1. But still, a good win regardless.
Good win. Been out for a little bit, and I think he even, in the post fight, kind of even said it himself. Yeah, I need to do a little more in there, but I just needed to get back in there, get a win. He knew Gastelum is tough and hard to finish, and I think he let that kind of get in his head a little bit, knowing that he's durable and tough. And moments where he maybe should have capitalized and pushed harder for that finish, he wasn't able to do. But again, still a big win, still keeping that win streak going strong for the guys from Philly down here, man. The team is on a roll this year.
Oh, Philly's going hard, baby.
Go Birds.
What else did we have? Oh, and then real quick, Kevin Holland. We're going to talk about that because Harrington, you better get ready. I want a full breakdown. I want a play-by-play. I want the Jon Jones saga because he's been tweeting up a storm. He's talking Ngannou. He's saying that he's retired. He's talking all kinds of madness. So you be ready and deliver. Harrington, I don't know if you're listening or not. I don't know if he's on the toilet. I don't know if I'm talking to myself. But regardless, you better hand me. Kevin Holland went out there.
Great, man.
Vincente Luque talked shit from the opening bell. Chatting away the whole time.
He typical Kevin Holland, man. And then gets on the mic and just delivers. Every time you give that guy a microphone, especially coming off of a big win like that, he gets that crowd going wild. He went out, jumped out of the cage, said hi to absolutely everybody along the cage side, all the commentators, the president, Dana, Hunter. If you were there, you were getting a handshake from Kevin Holland. And I liked that he said he's staying at 172 and trying to make some noise. But he also said in the post-fight that he wants to stay away from all the young guys. He wants all the old guys, and he wants Colby Covington next. So
just real quick, because you mentioned Trump. Trump's there, and I'm in Canada, right? And I don't think Trump's the favorite person, shall we say, in Canada right now. And Mel Gibson's son is on this movie, Milo Gibson. He's a great guy, by the way, a hell of an actor as well. But just an awesome dude. Kevin Holland, anyway, he looked phenomenal. He looked dangerous. He looked powerful, of course. Catches the kick, forces him down, snaps up a choke as Lucas trying to get back to the feet. We say it every time. That version of Kevin Holland, this time next year, could be a champion.
Yeah, he's dangerous, man. He's dangerous at 170 pounds. He looks good. He's landing clean strikes. And then just the submission game and the grappling game. I mean, in his last 2 fights, between how well he handled Gunnar Nelson and then to go out there and submit Vicente Luque like that. I mean, dude is a problem on the ground. And his team was even talking about him. And they talked about it on the broadcast where he kind of gets this rap as a wild man and kind of reckless and, not focused. But they were saying it's the exact opposite with him. He's up at like 6 a.m. He's calling all the teammates and the coaches and kind of organizing training and staying dialed in. He's got businesses and he's investments and everything outside of the cage. So I think his just persona makes people think that he's not a professional when it comes to his training and his regimen. And apparently that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah. No, doing big things. Beat Gunnar Nelson in style. Just took out Luque in style. Fair play to him, man. All right, today's podcast is sponsored by Hims. And guess what? If you are follically challenged, if you're getting a little short on top, if your hairline is receding, Hims is here to save the day. Because guess what? In 3 to 6 months, you could have grown a whole new head of hair. That is true. Men, if you are noticing your hair thinning when you look in the mirror, you are not alone. Life just gets busier and busier. And if you're starting to feel like there's not enough time in the day, you got to do something about it. Try Hims Hair Loss Solutions. Avoid jumping through a bunch of frustrating hoops and get access to treatment that actually works without leaving your home. The process is simple, 100% online, so there's no uncomfortable doctor visits. Hims makes treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free. No insurance needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers and they can help you get your confidence back with visibly thicker and fuller hair. So start your free online visit today at hims.com/believe. That is HIMS.com/believe for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/believe. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
All right, Mike, before the Jon Jones thing, how about a non-MMA?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a trend that got pretty popular over the weekend to the point where it's being reported in the New York Post now. Men who've taken the shot, Ozempic, are claiming something called Ozempic penis. They are claiming that they are gaining to between an inch to an inch and a half a length to their member, despite losing so much weight in other parts of the body.
Now, the thing is, because I hadn't looked at the notes, and just before we were going to bring this up, Harrington was talking about it, and I thought it made sense to me, or it seemed logical that this Ozempic penis, which I've never heard of, by the way, I was like, what, people's dicks are also getting smaller? But you're saying that it's getting bigger, and you say you've got a take on this, Paul. What is your take?
My take would be that obviously if you're 300 pounds and you drastically start losing weight, you're going to notice that your penis is getting bigger, because when you gain tons of weight and your belly pushes out and it pushes out around it, you lose size. I mean, I've heard of this before. When people start losing a ton of weight, they start noticing their member a lot more. Well, yeah, when you get a certain size belly, you can barely even see it. So then when you start losing all that weight, it would seem. But Brian, you were saying something that there's something in the article, Harrington, you're saying there was some counters to that.
I just read this article. It's all just hype. Like, it's not real. Like, it's just the dude going, oh yeah, I measured my dick before and now it's much bigger.
Now
this sounds like a psyop, like the same way the vaccine kind of was being psyop to people.
Bro, I was just going to say, because a lot of people are getting hip to the fact that they shouldn't be taking Ozempic.
No, it kills you.
It's absolutely everywhere, right? And it's becoming very popular. So now they're like, ooh, let's put it out there that guys will gain an inch in the size of their dick. Okay, let's start that.
This feels like that. This feels like a psyop.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
This is marketing of the next level. There's some guys out there that are challenged down there, and you're a little bit fat and you're a little bit chubby, and you think, or you're told, not only are you going to lose weight, but your dick's going to get bigger. I tell you what.
Sales through the roof.
Sales through the roof. I mean, I'm surprised.
Hey, is there
been on it yet.
Maybe you got a link on where I can get some Ozempic?
I'm just saying, you pay a couple of dudes a few $1,000s, and this isn't a story. You know what I'm saying? Like this is easily falsifiable.
So one of the guys in the study, or one of the guys who's claiming that this is a real thing, says that he measured his penis before he gained all the weight, and has since measured it since he's been taking Ozempic, and says there's a gain there. Now
I'm always skeptical. Who in the world actually is out there measuring their penis, right? Because I sure of hell have never done that. I have never taken a tape measure or a ruler, tried to become fully erect and gone, let's see what we're cooking with here. How many inches are, reasonable, or, crap, that's not good, or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think there's plenty of dudes out there who have. What do you think, Harrington?
So the guy in this article also states that in both trials, he did the pushing the tape all the way to the pelvic bone, like measuring system. So he went in depth on his research.
Yeah.
But if he was fat and then he pushed it to the pelvic bone, there's so much, like, you're losing pelvic fat.
The buffer zone. You can't, the fat is there. You're pushing it in. Yeah, you can squidge the fat a little bit, but it's still going to be there. So when you lose the fat, of course, the pelvic bone will be easier to get to.
You guys should be scientists.
Well, we should be, Harrington,
I feel like I am.
Never bring up a story where we have to go in depth on men's penises. Okay. Harrington enjoyed that one. He liked it.
Will do. Strike it from the record.
No. Go on. Give us the rundown. Jon Jones tweeted up a storm saying he's retired, saying he wants Francis.
Oh, yeah.
I can't keep up. We can't keep up. And we talk about it every week. But this is worth talking about. So, do you have like a play-by-play? Do you want to run us through it? The timeline of the Jon Jones.
So the big announcement was heading into the weekend. Tom Aspinall took to Twitter and said, "Hey, just so you guys know, Jon Jones is retired. Do with that what you will. Like, have a good weekend." Very shortly after that, Eric Nixick was quoted. He did an interview with, I believe it was Home of Fight, and he talked to them about Francis Ngannou being interested in a return to the UFC once his PFL contract is done. In the meantime, Jon Jones had tweeted out, "Instead of signing some petition, I'm going to need at least 200 5-page essays from Tom Aspinall fans around the world. Double-spaced MLA format. Convince me. My team will pick their favorites and get back to you eventually." He then followed it up saying that he's hearing Francis still interested. Now we're talking. That's a real super fight. Clash of Champions, not just hype, et cetera, et cetera. And then also jumped on the next day saying, "You clowns thinking Francis would be that much easier because of the ground game. Tom has no ground game either. English black belt is like getting a participation trophy." And then his latest tweet is just saying he's home in Albuquerque finally.
I mean, where do we start? Right. First of all, Tom isn't an English black belt. Do you know what I mean? There isn't an English black belt. That doesn't exist. He is a black belt. He does have a ground game. He has submitted many people. But this kind of pivoting and going after Francis Ngannou, I don't know what to say. I don't want to be too offensive. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. He's the greatest of all time. I'm trying to not talk too much shit. It's like, bro, it doesn't matter. Francis Ngannou, by the way, has been beaten along the way by Derek Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he might be the PFL champ. Yeah, he might have been the former UFC champ. There's a goddamn interim champion, okay? Yeah. If you didn't want to fight him, you should have said it at the time to Dana, to Hunter, don't do an interim belt. Do not do an interim belt because I won't fight him if that's how you truly felt. You know what I'm saying?
It's just... I don't know even how to take it anymore. For the longest time, I really thought that it was just to kind of rile up Tom, to get in his head, to do all this stuff. But now, I mean, he's showing interest in Francis coming back. And by the way, Dana was asked about this too, and he said that he's probably not going to sign Francis back to the UFC. So, I mean, here we are yet again, where this fight just is looking less and less likely to happen. And we still have an interim champ and a heavyweight champ. And it's just getting extremely frustrating to even continue to talk about. And I just want something to happen. I want some clarity.
One of the crazier tweets as well that I saw was that he said that he hasn't worked out since his fight with Stipe, which was last November. We're in June. That's 7 months. He hasn't worked out. He hasn't been in the gym. You know what I mean? If you,
I've done more MMA workouts than the current heavyweight champ.
You know, and all right, great. He's gifted. He's a genius. He's a prodigy. He can do that. He can get out, get back in shape and still beat these people. If he actually thought he was going to fight Tom Aspinall, surely. I mean, he said he needed 6 months, right? That was a few months ago, and he still hasn't been in the gym. And I'll be honest, I mean, I'm not talking shit. I'm not fat shaming him or anything. The little clips we see online, he doesn't look bad, but he doesn't look like he's like training every day. You know, he's at heavyweight. He's a little heavier now. That's I don't want to repeat last week's show, but it's just every week it just gets murkier and murkier.
Yeah, and we said it last week where, you know, that when he when he was asked at that seminar that he was doing, and he's like, oh, it's in the UFC's hands, and we've both signed agreements saying that we won't say anything. The UFC is going to announce it. We got a little bit excited thinking maybe this means that there's going to be a date soon, and then all this comes out right after it. That was what we were speculating. That,
no, you hit the nail on the head. You were like, the announcement's going to be that he's retiring.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know
anymore.
But I see this theory going around online. Like, is this pulling away from the fight now? Because initially it was hyping the fight. People just wanted to see it more and more and more. This isn't attractive. This isn't attractive.
Now it's just ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, if you want to retire, go and retire, you know, but just stop messing the sport around. You know, it's just, it's not a good look. You know, he's an incredible fighter, but like, if you don't want to fight him, just come out and be honest, say, I don't want to fight him and I'm retired. I'm not going to fight again. You know,
it's okay. It's okay. It sucks. I think we all want to see that fight, but again, we just also want to move on. We want something to happen. And, you know, he's kind of going after people, and he's commenting back to people that are making comments about the whole situation, and kind of belittling people and belittling Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen. Oh, I beat both you guys, and now you have a podcast where you talk about me and all this. It's like, yeah, that's what we're doing here.
Yes.
This is what we do, is we talk about the sport of MMA and mainly the UFC, and you're one of the biggest stars and you're the heavyweight champ. So of course we're going to be talking about this. And of course we want movement in the division. You're sitting there just not making a decision. And why? Just because it's Tom? Like, you don't want people to say you're ducking him. You don't want people to say that you're afraid of him. And we're all giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're not. But then you keep saying these things, and then you say, oh, I'm interested in a fight with Francis, but he's not even in the UFC. He's not even in the UFC. And there's a young guy who's an interim champ who is, and all he's trying to do is get a fight. Like, and he doesn't mind if it's not you, he's willing to fight somebody else, but he wants to fight for the heavyweight belt, and you're there. That's why we're talking about you.
That was another great Jon Jones tweet. At some point, he said, I'm 37 years old. My entire body hurts. All Tom does is talk about me, not the young killers in the division. Tom responded, I just want the heavyweight championship. I believe Jones has forgotten he's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of all the studs that Tom isn't talking about, is because he's knocked them all out, including Sergey Pavlovich. He's beaten Volkov. He beat Sergey Spivak. You know what I mean? All like the other guys at heavyweight, he dispatched of them very, very easily. And now he wants to fight you, John. You know, it's, I mean, going after DC and Chael, I mean, I get it. It's like, But the sport's big, right? And we're in a position now where it's on, 400 countries around the world. Each network's going to have analysts and people talking about it. You're the heavyweight champion of the world. You're one of the biggest names, and this is one of the biggest stories. So people are going to speculate, and people are going to talk, and people are going to criticize like we're doing right now. All you've got to do to stop all of that chatter is just get online and say, all right, send me the contract.
Yeah.
Send me the contract, and I'll fight.
Or just say 100% no chance that I'm fighting you.
I'm done. I'm walking away from the sport. And that's fine as well. You're allowed to do that. All right. There's going to be the critics. There's going to be people that say, because they say he walked away from Ngannou and stayed away for 3 years. And then all of a sudden when Ngannou leaves, he comes and fights Cyril. And people might say, well, he's calling out Ngannou because, number one, he's not in the UFC. And Dana said they probably won't sign him. And then also when you look at it stylistically, he beat Cyril Gane, but it went to a decision and he beat Cyril really easily. So there might be a bit of MMA math being factored into the equation there. And you can speak about Tom's English black belt all you want, but the man can wrestle and he's been doing jiu-jitsu for a very, very, very long time. It's exhausting. I'm fatigued with it. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over
Jon
it.
Jones fatigue.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And I every time I've ever talked to Jon, I like Jon. I'm not doing this to sit here and try to bash, but it's got to be talked about. And it's here we are in June, and this fight is as far away as it's ever seemed right now. So, frustrating.
Obviously, we're recording this on a Sunday. Thank you again, Paul, for working with us, making the time. Sunday afternoon, I'm in Cochrane, Canada. I'm going to jump in the car after I record this. I'm going to drive up to Banff. Have you ever been to Banff, Paul?
No.
Me neither. But it's like one of supposedly just unbelievable jaw-dropping beauty. It's a 60-minute drive from here. So it's people fly from all over the world to go there. I've seen images online, beautiful mountains, a big, huge lake, Lake Louise. The water is just like aqua blue. So that's my plan for the rest of the day. What's your plan?
I'm gonna hang out, go eat dinner, and hang out with my mom for a little bit. And that's probably all I'm gonna do today.
Nice. Yeah. I'm starving. I'm starving because I'm in the Airbnb. I worked a 14-hour day the first day. I came back. I had to go to the store, bought some steak and eggs. I had to buy the salt and pepper, the olive oil, everything to go with it. It's now like 10:30 at night. The stove
didn't work.
To say I was in a bad mood is an understatement. Oh, so then I'm on the phone with the Airbnb host, who was a lovely lady that was really trying, but she was Chinese and the command of the English language wasn't the best. And I was just going around in circles on the phone for about an hour. I'm going to bed. Screw it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm not going to eat.
I'm just going to go to bed. Forget it. Anyway, Harrington, give us a story. There's a couple of big stories that we're going to talk about. Ben Askren apparently in hospital. Nick Diaz is going through some kind of situation. What's going on with Nick Diaz?
So a tweet was sent out by Nick Diaz's cousin that claims that he was abducted, taken into Mexico to a drug rehab facility. He has tried to break out multiple times, but has been returned to the facility every time, according to his family member.
So, abducted? That's a strong word.
So,
kidnapped, abducted. It sounds like an intervention.
From what I'm reading here, his ex-girlfriend put out the tweet that said he was kidnapped and abducted. Cesar Gracie put out a tweet earlier that said Nick is in good health, not cloned or kidnapped, has not joined MS-13, and does not have a girlfriend, but he is looking.
So he is looking. Hey, fair play. He's back on the market. So what is he saying there, Brian? So that this whole thing is false?
Well, there's two. It looks like there's no real information out about it right now, but it looks like there's two sides to the story. His ex-girlfriend is saying that he's in contact with her, freaking out, trying to figure out how he's kidnapped and stuck in Mexico. And Cesar Gracie is saying that he's fine.
Okay. Well, And we don't know anything. There's no point sitting there and breaking it down off tweets. If he was in rehab, I don't think you can take someone against their will and put them in rehab unless the law gets involved and you get sectioned.
A little bit of money goes a long way in Mexico, you know?
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, it's in Mexico. Yeah, so maybe they can kind of like keep him there and secure him. Sounds like he needs it, to be completely honest with you, because when we saw that video, somebody posted him on the street playing with a lighter. I think meth has been used as the drug of choice for a while there for Nick, and yeah, he's got to get it together, man.
Yeah, well, I wish him nothing but the best, regardless of whatever it is, whatever demons or problems he's having. I hope it all figures out. Another sad one is Ben Askren, apparently.
Crazy.
I saw a tweet. Was it his wife saying, please pray? All of a sudden, the onset of pneumonia out of nowhere. And apparently he's in hospital in a very serious condition. Yeah,
apparently he's not even responding. He's in critical condition right now.
Really?
He's got a staph infection. Yeah.
So Amy, his wife, says, you may have heard that my husband, Ben, is going through something. He developed severe pneumonia, which came on very suddenly. He's currently in hospital and unable to respond to anything at this time. Wow. We welcome all prayers for healing and for peace. We are trying to keep life as normal as possible for our children currently and doing our best to support them thoroughly. So please refrain from discussing it with them for now. Holy shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So he's in hospital. He's unresponsive.
Yeah. Yeah. You get pneumonia like that, man. It's serious. And there was a staph infection too. I don't know if what came first, maybe the staph. And then when your immune system is down like that from having a staph infection, and then you get pneumonia and your body's so weak, it can take over. And then when you're in a hospital with all that kind of stuff and you're laying around and you're not moving, the pneumonia can act quick.
Yeah. Well, obviously we all wish and hope the best, of course, especially when there's children involved. Oh my God. And obviously, he's one of the guys from the MMA world, so we all wish him the best. But my algorithm on social media, there's a lot of health stuff these days. I think it's a sign that I'm getting older and I'm starting to get more and more beat up. But one thing that I see a lot, like various forums and people reposting in reels, but it's so true, and this kind of alludes to that, is like you might have not 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one, but you might have all these problems until it's a health problem. And then you forget about everything else, whether or not it's financial, whether it's, something at business or whatever it could be. When it becomes a serious health problem, it puts everything into perspective and changes the game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why it's, you gotta do what you can to try to stay healthy, because then things like this can happen out of nowhere. And that could be it. It's scary, man. Yeah, I hope he's all right.
And that's why you got to live your life. Because I was talking to Rebecca last night, and I forget how the conversation came up, and it's not important to the story, but we were talking about somebody, and she was the person we were talking about. We were saying she was 70 something years old, right? And I said to Rebecca, that's only 28 years away. For us, in 28 years' time, I'm 46. 28 years, I'll be 74. 74 sounds like you're getting really old. And I'm like, but 20, what did I say? 28 years? 28 years. That you think that's a really long time, but it flies by just like that. And I'm like, we're doing shit. Simple as that. I don't care. When I get back, we're going on holiday. We're going to see this person. We're going to go to there. We're going to go to Egypt. She's always wanted to go see the pyramids. I'm like, if we don't do it now, we're never going to.
You don't want to wait. Yeah.
We're going to go on a safari to Tanzania. Okay. We've been talking about doing that. I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. What's something that you've always wanted to do, Paul, or a place you wanted to visit?
I mean, me and Christine definitely want to go to, I mean, we were kind of talking about it earlier too, Japan. We want to take a vacation to Japan and just kind of do that with ourselves, Korea, and I want to take her to Europe and just kind of bounce around too, because obviously I get to do all that with commentary, but she doesn't get to go. She stays back with the kids. So kind of similar to what you're talking about. We were saying once we have our third kid and we're done doing that and they get a little older and, can kind of, because Ashling is 10 now. So by the time our third daughter is a little bit older, she's going to be our babysitter. You know what I mean? We're going to have a little bit more of a support system around here. Because right now my mom can't really do too much because of her current situation and my dad's gone. So we don't really have too much and she's not super close with her family. So we kind of really have to either just have a babysitter. So once kids are a little older, we already talking about it. I was like, babe, we're going to go, I'm going to take you all over the place and we're just going to go and kind of do our own thing and take vacation. So yeah, I'm with you on just starting to plan things. We got a few more years before we can do it. But I mean, she's younger than me. She's only 35. So, I mean, she's got time.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, Paris is coming up in September, but then I forgot, obviously she's pregnant. What am I saying?
Yeah. That's like a week and a half after the third daughter, our next baby. That baby is bouncing around, by the way. That one doesn't stop moving inside of the belly right now. Yeah, you can see the little hand like pushing the stomach all over the place.
What is the due date?
August 25th is the technical due date. Yeah.
Wow.
It's coming up
around the corner.
And I'm getting hip surgery August 4th. So it's going to be mayhem here in this house because I'm getting my hip done. And then a couple weeks later, the baby is, but I mean, at that point, I'll already have been rehabbing and walking around. So I'm like, at least I'm off. You know what I mean? It kind of works out where I'm taking off work from the very beginning of August until Paris, basically. So
yeah,
wait till Paris, Michael. You see me walk. I'm going to be walking around with two hips that work.
Two hips that work. Yeah, Paris, dude, I'm dreading what's coming up because I'm here.
Bro,
no, dude. The travel, I'm here in Canada. I fly home. I've got one more week. I'm home for 2 days. I fly to Azerbaijan. I come back. Then it's International Fight Week, right? So I'll be home again for a day. Then go to Vegas for International Fight Week. Then I've got a film in Los Angeles, but I'm going to be staying in a hotel because I'm not doing that drive from Orange County every day. Then as soon as that finishes, go to Abu Dhabi, right? When Abu Dhabi finishes, my old mate Jacko, shouts out DJ Jacko's getting married in England. So I'm going to fly from Abu Dhabi to England. I'm going to go to the wedding. From there, I'm going to fly directly to the Apex, commentate that weekend. The next day, I got to fly to Thailand because I'm doing a seminar at Bang Tao. And then from Bang Tao, I'm flying direct to China to commentate in Shanghai. Then I come back, and then about 4 or 5 days later, we fly to Paris.
Man,
I'm dreading it.
I can't complain then. I can't complain because the only thing I'm complaining about is my trip to Azerbaijan. I leave 5:30 in Philly to Frankfurt. 9-hour layover in Frankfurt. Get to Azerbaijan at like 11 p.m. Then my return flights, and I didn't notice this when I booked it with travel. I looked at it and I'm like, I'm not leaving until Monday at 2:20 a.m. So we get off air. I'm there Saturday. Then I'm there all through Sunday, late Sunday night, go to the airport. Then I've got another 7-hour layover in Frankfurt on my way home and get back to Philadelphia Monday at 4-something in the afternoon, early evening.
I mean, I feel for you and the layovers and the 9 hours, but all I'm hearing is no BYM with Paul Felder on the Monday. Jesus, Paul.
Maybe we can do.
No. We'll figure it out.
The time difference.
I'll be on a plane. I'll be flying back. I'm joking. We'll figure it out near the time.
I'll do it from the goddamn lounge in Frankfurt. Have a few German beers, and we'll get after it.
See, the thing is, and everyone's listening to us and going, look at them flying all over the world, Crimea River or whatever. The travel, the time zones, the jet lag, the layovers. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And I'm doing Atlanta this coming weekend. So I do Atlanta. That's easy peasy travel, no problem. But then I'm only home Monday, and then I fly out to that epic journey to Azerbaijan. But I mean, I'm still looking forward to visiting that place. It looks like it's a cool city. So
well, that is a great set. Oh, I'm looking forward to Azerbaijan, of course. That's a great segue, though. UFC Atlanta this weekend. Joaquin Buckley taking on Kamaru Usman in the main event. You can't make predictions.
no,
I can. Harrington
what do
and
you
Brian,
think?
just jump on and say something whilst I just bring up the fight card for this weekend. I want to see who else is on there.
You have Rose Namajunas is on the fight card. She's facing Miranda Maverick.
Cody Garbrandt's fighting.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Paul Craig versus Adolfo Bellato.
Oh shit! Yeah. That got turned around.
Yeah, they
real quick.
rebooked it.
Yeah. Edmund Shabazian, Andre Petrosky, Rose versus Miranda Maverick, Paul Craig versus Adolfo Bellato. But of course, it's all about
Chiesa and Court McGee. Chiesa's still getting after it. He's on there.
Fight card.
Ricky Simone, Charles Jourdain.
That's a good one.
I mean, my boy Malcolm Wellmaker versus the returning Chris Matinho.
You love Malcolm Wellmaker.
I really do. He's very fun.
You do. You love that
He's
guy.
fun.
Yeah, well.
No, he's great. He's great. Usman versus Buckley. Buckley's a bad man, and he's getting better, and he's strong, and he's powerful, and he's explosive, and all the rest of it. Kamaru Usman's getting on. Kamaru Usman's one of the greatest ever, but has his time. I mean, look at what he did to Hamzat. He gave him a good fight on short notice, upper weight class. Hamilton and Bryan, who wins this fight?
I think Usman's probably a little more crippled than Buckley these days. When you hear him talk about it, he's like, I can't even get up out of a chair. So, I mean, sure, adrenaline and fighting and putting it on, but Joaquin Buckley's up and coming. He's like a contender in the division. I think Joaquin Buckley takes him.
And it's not like MMA math stacks up. We know that. But look at what he did to Colby Covington. Look at what he did to Colby Covington. Harrington, how do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he did to the Colby Covington after Kamaru Usman and, Masvidal and all those years of fighting racked up on Colby Covington. But I just think, I mean, it's what you were talking about earlier, right? Like that fire, that desire. Joaquin Buckley certainly has that. He has that chip on his shoulder. He feels like he's been, disrespected and one of the best in this division for quite some time. And it's like Kamaru Usman is a means to an end to get that recognition. For Kamaru, I don't see how he gets up for Buckley. You know what I mean? This is a dude who was in his division where 3 years ago, if you told me they were making this fight, I'd say you're out of your mind. So it's like, for somebody like Hamzat, yeah, that's an easy one for Kamaru to get up for. That's one of the biggest stars in the company right now. In a fight you're not supposed to win, obviously your championship, that the heart in you that made you a champion is going to get you up for that fight. I don't know how he finds that same desire to go on the contender's path, beating guys like Buckley.
I mean, that is a very good point and very well made. And you're absolutely right. What is the motivation? Yeah, money. And I'm sure that Usman gets compensated very well. I'm sure the fight purse is very handsome. But what is he trying to do? Because he hasn't been particularly active. Is he trying to become the champion again? Or is he just filling his time? We don't know. We're not in his headspace, but we know that Joaquin Buckley is going to come in top form. He's going to be in the best shape of his life. He's on the best run of his life. It's a really tough situation.
He's going to be at a day party somewhere in Atlanta hours before
for sure he is. For sure he is.
Well,
you know it.
Usman's ranked 5. If he beats Buckley, like there's a chance that he gets a title shot. Like,
dude, again,
what I'm saying?
The welterweight division is so insane right now. I mean, if Buckley can get through Usman, we don't know if it's going to happen. And even for Usman, if he wins and is hungry and looks to be back on form, I mean, you got Ian Gary and Bilal talking to each other saying they want to fight. Sean Brady and Ian Gary were saying they wanted to fight. Shavkat seems to be out of the mix with this knee surgery. We don't really know what's going on with him right now.
Islam's next to challenge for the belt.
Yeah, so there's so many guys that still have to fight. It's an amazing time to be a welter right now. You know what I mean? It's hard path to the title, but a good time to book fights.
Yeah, and if you look at this matchup, right? Obviously, Usman's had a glittering career, but Miles on the clock. Who's got the less miles? We know. That's Joaquin Buckley. He's the younger guy, of course. Striking. Who do you give the edge to in striking? Buckley is powerful. He's explosive. He's unpredictable. I'm not saying Usman hasn't got good striking, but I think I give the speed, the agility, the explosivity.
Power.
The power. I give that to Buckley. The confidence. Athletic ability. I mean, they don't come much better.
Is Usman going to be able to wrestle him? You know what I mean? Like, he's a monster.
Well, that's the X factor that I was just going to get to. The wrestling, right?
Buckley can wrestle.
He can wrestle. And he's a shorter guy. They're harder to take down. He's stocky. He's strong. It's a tough one for Usman.
Yeah, it's a really tough fight. And, he can make us all eat our words if he can go out there and perform and get it done. But I agree. Obviously, calling the fight, I can't make a prediction. But, man, when I saw this matchup, I'm like, God damn, I didn't expect for Usman to sign that contract. So he must see something for himself in this, right? Buckley is surging right now. He's a young, loud, hungry up-and-comer. So I imagine the motivation, if we're thinking, what's he, where is it at? How does he get up for this fight? Excuse me. I'm thinking that's what he's thinking. I got to, I go and beat this young kid who's on the rise. Buckley's 31. He's in his prime right now. He's on an absolute roll. He might think, all right, I beat him. If I do it in style, I can start talking shit and get myself right to the front of this line, being a former champ and a dominant former champ at that.
I'll tell you how he gets himself up for this fight, because he knows that this is the narrative. Like, for example, he might see this week, right? He might be sitting in his hotel in Atlanta. You're chilling, right? You're just scrolling YouTube, whatever. You put it on, or someone sends him a clip and says, oh, you seen what they're saying? And I know, as a fighter, and you know this, Paul, when everyone's counting you out and you're like, you son of a bitches. Yeah. I'm the former welterweight champion of the world.
Have you seen what I've done?
5 or 6 times. And you're counting me out. You think I can't beat this guy, right? Oh, that's the best motivation. When people used to just write me off and say, oh, he'll never be a champ. He's not going to beat this guy. I was like, oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. So if he's had that mentality through this training camp, that'll help him. But again, having that mentality through the training camp and pushing, you can't like you used to when you're getting older.
And not with his body. His body is.
We're only human.
Yeah, he's been broken for a long time, and and credit to him for doing the things he's done. Really, not at 100% for a long time. Yeah. A lot of those wins, even over Colby, when Colby was in his prime, where he was compromised. He was compromised against Hamzat, and he took that fight on short notice. So imagine what Usman would have been like if he didn't have bad knees, right? If he didn't have bad, back issues, whatever's going on with him. It's scary to think about that.
Like Khabib.
Yeah. There's a reason he probably doesn't wrestle as much as he would like to based on his background. It's because of restrictions with the body.
Of course. And I would never disrespect Kamaru Usman. He's a class act. He's been a great ambassador for the sport. Stay on, Harrington. He's been a great ambassador for the sport. He's been a great champion. He's given lots of entertainment. We're just looking at it from a factual standpoint. People get older. Yeah. As I said, I'm on this movie here. I'm doing long days and it's physical and I'm running and, I'm doing all these fight scenes and whatnot. Jeez, I get back at the end of the day. My body is beat up and I'm not in the gym like doing what Joaquin Buckley's going to do to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or what he's going to try and do, should I say. So, hey, big respect, fair play. But I've got Usman. I've got Buckley winning this one, I think. Harrington?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to say Buckley. And it is no disrespect. On Kamaru's way up, he had to go through Rafael Dos Anjos for that either like the interim title or the title eliminator. And it's like that guy was a former champion, highly respected, gave Kamaru one hell of a fight, for as long as he could stay in it. And it's like that is the natural order of things. It is no disrespect to say that the young, hungry guy might take out the old lion.
It's the passing of the torch. It's the new generation. What's another one? What's another adage? Adage?
Out with the old, in with the new.
In North America, anyway.
Oh, darling, it's an adage. Out with the old, in with the new. Passing of the torch. The new generation.
Changing of the guard.
Changing of the guard. Chat GPT at someone.
Turning the page.
What?
Turning the page.
Turning the page. A new chapter. No.
A new chapter.
It's.
I got nothing else.
No, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done. I think I'm done. Brian, you have access to a computer. Surely you found one.
The young eat the old if you let them.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we're done. You're done. I'm done. Is Usman done? I guess we'll find out. But I do know one thing. This
I'll be in the front
show
row.
Is done. When you Atlanta, I like Atlanta, man. I filmed Naked Gun, which comes out very soon next month.
Yeah.
I was down there recently. Yes, Atlanta's a nice place, man. Go to STK, Paul. Great steakhouse.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll be doing something. I'll recommend that to the boys. I think it's me and Dom.
Dom, and Fitzgerald.
Brendan. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Thanks for watching. We're going to enjoy our Sundays. This time next week, I'll be back home in the usual spot. So thanks for bearing with us. You guys take care. All the best.